Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Ask Digit, where you ask the questions and we find the answers. And today's question is very interesting. It's buy or wait. Now, the question really didn't specify buying or waiting for any particular phone. It just said that should I buy a phone that I really want right now, or should I wait for something better to come up? And actually, this question comes at a really good time because we have just put up a story on digit.in about 13 upcoming smartphones that we're really excited about. So we're actually going to take this to be a mid-range budget. So we're going to talk about phones that we expect to be between 18 to about 30,000 rupees, and with some killer specifications. We might go overboard talking about the upcoming iPhone 6s and the 6s Plus, but essentially we're going to talk about buy right now or wait. So Shavik, first of all, I'm going to ask you this: is if someone has X amount of money right now, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, and that's their budget, should they just walk out and buy the latest phone that's there for that price, or wait for 10 days, 15 days, 1 month, 6 months for that one phone to launch that everyone says is going to be that awesome?
I mean, so that's the thing which I've had with phones lately, that there's no specific smartphone which is coming up which would make you go like, wow, this is so awesome, so I'm gonna wait for it.
So
Not even the iPhone?
Unfortunately, it's not that much of an upgrade where you would go for it like you just see it and be like, okay, I want this.
Yeah.
Because if you have an iPhone 6, even if you have a 5S, you're good to go. So when we're checking all these smartphones which have like maybe launched elsewhere or is about to launch,
Yeah.
there's nothing really striking about these smartphones which would like commend me to tell you to wait to buy one.
Not even so. Some of the rumored phones are the OnePlus X Mini.
Yeah.
We have the Huawei S Mate, if I'm not mistaken. That's
Mate
the
S.
Mate S. Huawei Mate S, which has actually been reviewed internationally by some tech websites, and it's got really good reviews. So
Yeah.
that's one phone worth waiting out for if that's your budget. as
Yeah,
to
I
what
mean,
phone's
these
priced
are the
at.
phones which are like, if you can wait, then, and if you really think you like the design of the Mate S, or maybe if you like Huawei smartphones in general, you can definitely wait for it. It's not like waiting for it would be stupid.
Yeah, but that's my problem with waiting is by the time you wait for the phone to come to a market like India, it's already time for a better phone to come out within the next 4 to 6 weeks. So keeping my own personal example in mind, I bought the OnePlus One in I think about February, and we're in September right now, but the OnePlus 2 was already rumored and it was confirmed, and since we're in the business, we knew it was coming, we knew when it was coming, but I needed a phone right there and then. So my personal advice on a topic like this is if you really need a phone, your phone is struggling right now and you really want to buy that one piece of hardware to sustain you for the next 3 years or 2 years or whatever your time frame is, just go ahead and buy it.
Yeah, and there's no real reason for you to really wait and keep struggling with your old phone. And it's not like if you buy now, you're going to lose out on a lot of money.
Yeah,
You
because-
get very good value for money with the phones that are already there in the market right now.
Also talking about the upgrade, so if you buy a phone right now, and most of them are running on, if you look at the mid-range ones, there's Snapdragon 828 and Snapdragon 810, and that hardware is essentially good enough to run you for the next 2 years.
Absolutely.
So for anyone who has a problem or the myth in their mind that if they buy a phone right now it's going to be outdated soon, so can you just burst that myth for them and explain as to why it won't be
Well,
outdated?
not really. I mean, at this recent Qualcomm conference that we attended, the main view was that processors which are being made now are being made with the idea of making them future proof. So that like maybe 5 years from now on, you wouldn't have a completely obsolete set of hardware, which was previously not there. Maybe if you bought a cell phone 6 years back, you'd almost not be able to use it now.
Yeah.
So, but right now, say the phones that are coming with the latest generation processors, even the low-end ones, they would be fine for the next 3 years. Maybe performance will be a little slower, but really, like, even if your messaging takes 2 more seconds,
It's not,
would you really be bothered?
It's not that level of lag that you're going to want to kill yourself for using that phone. The only last purchase decision that I would rely on right now, especially if you're on a budget phone, is whether you want to buy a 4G ready budget phone or not.
Yeah.
That is, I think, the only deciding factor whether you really want
Yeah,
to
and
wait
right
for
now, like there are a lot of budget devices which are coming with 4G.
enabled,
Like
yes.
a lot of like manufacturers are focusing on sub 10K 4G phones, and with 4G becoming more affordable, and we're seeing a pan India rollout. Airtel's already there. Vodafone's trying out even faster 4G networks than what are already there.
Yeah.
Reliance Jio is there. So
And before everyone goes crazy and starts talking about call drops and bad networks, yeah, that's not our problem, that's the telco's problem.
Yeah.
We still want the device.
our phones are like fine enough. I mean,
Yeah.
So, your final verdict, if someone has the money right now for whichever budget phone they want, should they go ahead and buy it or wait?
Go for it.
Go for it.
Because if you like a phone right now, I mean, maybe 2 months later you'd like another phone. When you go to buy that, another cell phone is going to be rumored, and you'd be like, oh no, I want that.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't make sense to wait. Just go for the phone you like.
Or you could be like me and live on a Nexus alternate cycle. So, I've had the first generation Nexus, then I went to the Nexus 4, and I didn't go to the Nexus 6, I went to a 1+1, which was essentially what a Nexus 6 should have been at some level, I guess.
The Nexus 6 was a little.
Nexus 6 was disappointing for me, but I am looking forward for the next Nexus. So, yeah, you could be.
So you never thought of upgrading to OnePlus 2?
No.
You didn't have enough reason to.
No. It was.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like he's using a previous generation phone, but it's
And it's
working fine
and it's
for him.
brilliant. There's not one app, not one game that actually doesn't function well on a 1+1.
Maybe he doesn't have a fingerprint scanner, but he can. He's fine with unlocking it normally.
Yeah.
That I don't want to be cool like you Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus owners and you iPhone 5s owners. I'm not that cool. I love the passcode still.
iPhone man. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this episode of Ask Digit. Both our opinions are the same, that if you want a phone right now, you should go ahead and buy it. You can always let us know if you have any more questions, and you can write to us on our Facebook page or our Twitter handle, or you could log on to digit.in and go to the Ask Digit section and leave a question for us there. We'll catch you in another episode. Goodbye for now.